Check, check, check. All right. Looks like it's working. All right. So today we're going to be working on the Hermit. And just as an exercise, let's start with the words, because sometimes words are easier to talk about in the tarot than the pictures themselves. So when we think of a hermit, what do we think of?
Kermit the Frog and someone that's like really closed in.
Okay, a Kermit the Frog. Interesting. Okay, good.
I think of a deep thinker.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Okay, good. We're getting somewhere.
Solidarity and not being affected by outer circumstances.
Good. All right, good. So we kind of have like a solitary figure that likes to think. He could be like a spiritual guide, right? Sometimes like the hermit's considered like a sage, right? And sages like could give you like spiritual insight into like your path in life, and like a priest, like a sage priest, and you come to them, you give them a confession, they're like, "Oh, well, why don't you do this?" Okay? So we have somebody that's experienced in like various paths along journeys, and everybody's journey is different, right? Jeff didn't get here the same way Sarah did. And even if Sarah took the same route that I did, it was at a different time. She saw different cards. So everybody's path is different. So I'm going to show you something really weird and interesting. And it will make more sense once we move along down this road of the Hermit. So I was in philosophy club one day, and I look at my friend Edgar, and I was like, "Edgar, what is the shape of one?" And he's like, "The shape of one? What do you mean? It's the shape of one?" And he's like, he gave me a couple of responses. I'm like, "No, it's a circle, a single unit. That's the shape of one. This is just the circle." So how could I represent 9? Because the Hermit is number 9, right? If we look at the top of the card, we have the Roman numeral 9. So we're dealing with a little bit of numerology here. Now, how can I represent the number 9 with this? Adding a line, good. We're getting somewhere, good. You could draw more circles inside, right? You could draw them outside too, right? But what if we just did this? What if we have 2, we have 3, so 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. But say we have a dot in the middle here. So we have 9 pieces of the circle. Now it's representing 9, but it's one circle. So if we were to like think about the vastness of the universe, or like everything, it's all these little pieces inside of one thing. Right? Are you guys still with me?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So I want you guys to think about a child, or like a little kitten, or let's even say like a little sprouted plant. It's at the first stage of its life, right? Like at the first stage of its initial creation or something like that, right? So it's kind of more like this. Doesn't really have that many experiences. It's a complete being, and inside this being, it's experiencing a beginning, but inside that life is also its ending. It just hasn't gotten there yet. So when we think about this circle, when it's like all broken down into these many parts, the single unit, the beginning, has the ending inside of it. It's just not there yet. Now, when we get to the ending, and say we're at the end of our life, or the plant's at the end of its life, right? We can look back and think about parts of the beginning. But when we're at the beginning, we don't necessarily know the end. You guys following me? Okay, good. So now, this card, the Hermit, it's looking down, okay? And it said that the Hermit guides the light for everybody to come up a mountain. We were talking about a mountain earlier with the snow, and you said, yeah, there's a snow on the top of the mountain, okay? Now think of the Hermit as the number 9. It sees all the different parts, and it's come from that single thing, okay? And it can guide all these little parts, right? We said a sage can like give advice, and it has to understand all these different people's lives. Now this sage is like a guiding light for all these little pieces to come back together as a single unit.
Question.
Yeah.
Like, why couldn't you just say the same thing about any fraction of the circle, like 8, 7?
That's a good question.
Or why not 10?
Good.
Completeness.
That's a good question. So the number 9 is a special number. We have 0. So the major arcana follows a numerical path. So we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Will you do me a favor and come up and write the number 2,900,000.
Write it out like words or like
No, in 2,900,000. 185. Okay. Now, remember how I said that the number 1 has these experiences that just have not been experienced yet? So that would mean all this is hidden. To them.
But not 9.
But not 9. Right. 9 has experienced all the different combinations of numerical value. If we don't have these other things here, we don't have all of these other experiences, then you can't make this. We don't have all these other numbers. Yes? Do you have a question?
Just a comment. So
Yeah.
He knows, has the ability to see everything that's happening in the future of all the other, the guiding light to the top of the hill or wherever, the end.
Exactly.
And he's pretty much the end. Because once they get there, it's the end of their life.
Exactly. So when we talk about these things in tarot, we got to think about like a reality that's in ours, but also like outside, right? These are like spiritual forces, okay? So there's like this underlying current that creates us who we are, that creates our individuality, that creates our personality. And that's the path that we take up this hill of like enlightenment or like realizing our best self. Are you still with me? Okay, great. Are you like, this is way too much?
No, I'm with you.
Okay, great. Awesome. So the powers of the Hermit is this guiding light that wants to bring us up the hill, wants to like unify us with our higher selves. Now, remember how I said like we all kind of have our different paths in life? Now, when we take these paths, we're developing who we are. We're like developing our personalities, we're developing our experiences, we're developing our social skills, and every one of those things is ours, right? It makes us who we are. Now, let's imagine that we're all at the bottom of a hill. This hill is massive. Let's make it fun. It's like a Himalayan hill. It's like a hill in the Himalayas. We all have our backpack. All 4 of us are about to walk up this thing. Every single one of us is going to go through a character change. And that character change is going to be our own. It's going to be our own individual experience. Now, some of us might quit. Some of us may be like, not for me. I'm out of here. Never doing this again. And some of us might make it to the top. Now, when we make it to the top, we're reunifying like our single experience of going up this like hill. Okay. It's the same experience, just from different perspectives. So what happens if I take out a slice of this pie? First of all, we have 8 pieces now. Not complete. It's missing a piece. It's not a complete thing. So like, say we were to take out the sun in our solar system. What do you think would happen?
Life would die.
Life would die, yeah, exactly. And our little piece of this complete thing would be gone. So there's like this force that's like guiding our personality, that's guiding creation, guiding this creative matrix. Remember I was talking about like water is like this creative matrix. So let's dive into the symbolism and it'll make more sense. I want to talk about the snow. So what is snow?
Solid water.
Solid water. Good. So if water is the creative matrix, and let's say liquid water is the creative matrix, and we take our lamp, we take the Hermit's lamp, and we put it next to the snow, okay? It releases a part of that creative matrix. So like in the initial cause of your life, the creative matrix was like released when the sperm met the egg. Then you start to build your body in your mother's womb. Well, that creative matrix is expressing itself. The Hermit released some of that frozen matrix to create you. And your path began. Your path began up the hill. You with me?
No.
You're not? What doesn't make sense?
Are you saying he melted it with the lantern?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Then I guess.
Yeah. So if you have a lantern, it's got fire in it, and you put it next to snow, what's going to happen?
Okay.
It's going to melt. Does that make sense? And on the presumption that water represents the creative matrix, then the Hermit, as a guiding force for everything in the universe, he basically dictates what occurs in the creative matrix. So that's why the snow's there. The Hermit like releases that aspect of it.
It runs down the hill, and that's what you develop with.
Exactly.
But go back to one thing you said. You said that some people don't make it up the hill, some people quit, But aren't they making it as far as they're supposed to make it?
Right.
Everyone's not going to make it all the way to the top. Everyone's not going to live as long as everyone else or experience everything. So everyone's journey is different.
Agreed.
So if you only make it halfway, that's what's meant to be.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. So they still made it to their 9, but
they made it to their 9.
They made
their 9. Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right.
Great nuance. So they made it to their final destination 9, but somebody else's 9 may be
Huge.
Yeah, they might get all the way to where this Hermit figure's at the top of the hill. Good. So the Hermit's lamp releases that water. It releases the waters of consciousness, the waters of the creative matrix with his lamp. Good. Okay. Awesome. So now let's talk about the staff. Let's talk about the staff. Or the wand. We can call it a wand. So wands are associated with fire. I didn't tell you that part, but you probably knew that, hopefully. Well, if not, it's okay, because I'm here to help you. Wands are associated with fire. And what did I say fire was? Gideon?
Will,
Will,
drive,
desire,
passion,
passion. Good.
energy,
Energy. What do we have to use to get up that hill?
motivation. Really.
Motivation, will, desire, passion, energy. See how it's all adding up here? How it's all, okay, this plus this plus this plus this, it must equal that. That's how it works. Tarot's very calculated. I had some guy in here like a month or two ago. He's like, I didn't realize so much thought went into the tarot. Remember that?
Yeah.
He never came back.
Pictures.
Yeah, he never came back.
So for me, with the staff, I know it represents fire,
Mm-hmm.
but to me, with the hermit holding it, I feel like he's transformed this drive, this passion into a wisdom.
Ooh, yeah.
Instead of, so it's kind of like an air element.
Mm-hmm. I like that.
So it's like and even when we went through the hierarchies, when air kind of transforms from water, it kind of becomes air.
Mm-hmm.
It evaporates. So maybe he's transformed that passion that he's had into a wisdom that's able to be offered to others.
No,
Yeah.
literally, because the two things that are yellow in this card are the staff and the lamp. And so he's transformed it into the wisdom that he's guiding over everyone.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly. So like, I agree with you 100%. So sometimes this card is associated with wisdom, right? Because to be like a sage or like a spiritual guide, you have to have some level of wisdom. I mean, we're not asking you to be like Confucius or something like that, but like, you got to have a little bit of wisdom. Like, come on, right? So yeah, for sure. And then the color gray is oftentimes associated with wisdom too. Yeah, the color gray, yeah.
It's not black or white.
Right.
It's balanced.
It's balanced. Here we are. We're back to that duality, that mixture of the two. Good. All right. So let's talk about one more thing. The staff represents the support of nature. So like the last time we talked about how like our bodies are a product of nature, but like our mind, this thing that helps us think and make calculations and all these other things, because the mind necessitates a body as far as we know, we can make a 90% conclusion, or at least I think so, that the mind is inside of nature. Like our thinking, our mental stuff has to be like kind of connected to nature somehow. So the staff is made out of nature, right? It's from a tree. So we have the support of nature that can help guide us along our path too, right? If we look out into the universe, we can see like this like omnipotent will that pushes everything forward, right? Animals are kind of smart too, Go ahead. Instincts, right? So nature helps support us up this path.
This also is connecting the below to the above as well. It's connecting the earth
to the mind. Okay, good. I like that. Yeah, if you look at it, it almost looks like the staff is touching the earth and then it's coming to his third eye. Yeah. There we go. Good connection there. Love it. I'm here for it. If you're like, I have this crazy idea about the tarot, run it by me. I love these crazy ideas. This is like my thing. Right. All right, cool. So let's think about how the staff is made of, is a natural product. What about a lamp? Do we find those in nature? No.
We do find fire.
We find fire. Good. Good. So could we say that like maybe the lamp represents like man's experience of nature, or his like pruning, right? To get a car, we got to go out there, get the ore, process it, mold it, shape it, right? We put the fuel in it and we ignite it. Then it's like You know, the engine's just constantly like pushing back and forth, right? All these hot gases. You know, that's basically man, you know, kind of manipulating. Some people don't like that word. I've used that word in here before. And my friend, I'm not going to name names, but she's like, I don't like that word. I was like, well, why don't we say influence? You know? So it's like man manipulating nature so that it can help ourselves.
I kind of see like what a lamp is. It's kind of holding something important for you,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also like a reflection of your mastery of what you're able to create. Like your mastery of life. Hey, I'm able to hold up this important thing now and carry it with me.
Yeah.
Because I've mastered this aspect.
Love it. I love it. What let's hang on. I like to kind of bring this back down into like everyday life, because what is this stuff good for if we can't relate it to everyday life? What would you like to master?
Spiritual connection.
Spiritual connection? Okay, good.
Like hearing spirit.
Good.
Being guided by spirit.
Good. Awesome. How about like
and skills too? Like
yeah, let's name a few. You can music, art,
and writing.
Writing. Good. All right. So we've got a few from Gideon.
Peace.
Peace.
Inner peace. Mindfulness of what your surroundings. You know, be aware of your surroundings is the deeper meaning to the things that are happening.
Mm-hmm.
And where I want to prove is learning.
Mm-hmm.
Learning everything.
I love that. I love that. I feel like the Hermit's kind of like you reach the top of the mountain. Oh, I made it. I'm at peace, right? I learned so much coming up that path. Right? Good. All right, Sarah, and then I'll give you what I want to master.
Yeah, I really liked what they said. I guess another one could be like relationships.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's hard. That's definitely a hard one, right? Because like
understanding others.
Understanding others.
Anyway, that's impossible. You can't. The only way you can do it is understand yourself and how. And I look at it like I feel like when someone tries to understand someone else and stuff like that, I mean, you can relate, you can, you know, but it's like they try to control, and you can't control someone else. You can't put them in a box or her in a box. You gotta let them run with it and accept them how they are. And the way you do that is accept yourself and be able to be yourself, you know, adjust.
Mm-hmm.
Relationships are so hard, you know, because it's so hard.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I like that. And I'm going to go ahead.
No.
Yep,
I'm good.
Okay. Actually, I like that. Everything you're saying is reminding me of this card. So if we were all on this mountain, we're back to the Himalayan mountain, and we're all walking up this mountain. Say there's like no path. It's like completely safe, whatever way you go. You know, the way you go, maybe it's 5 feet over, but I didn't experience what that other 5 feet over is like. I can kind of relate to it, but that's yours. That's yours. We're still headed up to the same place, though. Still headed up to the same place. All right, cool. All right, then I'll give you what I want to master. I really want to master this last semester, my undergrad, and I want to move on to Wayne State. You know, that's what I want to master. I want to master finding more time to meditate and write out my ideas. I want to master that too. That's like an ebb and flow thing. To say I want to master the tarot would only almost be like a juxtaposition, because this is like a lifelong study. I don't think there's any mastering it. Like once you think you got it, nope, there's this other perspective, right?
A whole other realm of opens up.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's what I want to master. I also want to master my art skills, my drawing skills a little bit better. Okay. So we were talking about the lamp. What's inside the lamp? Light.
You can't really tell if it's fire or what it is, but it looks like light.
Yeah.
We assume it's fire.
Yeah.
Good. Good. So we have an assumption that it's obviously emitting some type of light. That imagery doesn't quite do what's inside the lamp justice, though. Let me get another card out, and then I'm going to wrap this up in like the next 8 minutes, and we're going to relate it back to the moon card. And we'll jump into meditation. So hang on. Does anybody have any burning questions? Is this cool?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Have you ever, like, I've purchased decks and I like read their intro to their deck and stuff, and a lot of them have been said that they like will journey through each arcana card,
Mm-hmm.
and then to write their tarot deck. And I've just been curious if you've ever like journeyed through, like meditated through the tarot.
Many times. Many times. What I find a helpful tool to do is to start from zero, the Fool, and then work onward. So that then it would go the Magician, High Priestess. Just follow the numerical order, right? So we see the number 9 here. So the
It's a star.
yeah, it's a 6-pointed star. Now the 6-pointed, you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Very similar card. There's nuanced differences in this one.
Isn't that Star of David?
It is. It's the Star of David.
I guess you can kind of see it in here.
Yeah.
You can
Now
now
that
that you
yeah.
see that.
Yeah.
Can see that.
Yeah. It's a little more difficult. When you start adding color and stuff, sometimes it gets lost. Yeah. So we got the 6-pointed star. This ties in back to the beginning, right? So I told you like the elements have the triangles. So if we were to say it. Go ahead.
The elements combining together, like you have the earth and the water combining to create the Star of David.
Good. So we have fire and water combining, Star of David. Then we have air and earth combining, Star of David. So what this suggests is the combination of opposites, right? So down there at the bottom of the mountain, once I get to the top, I've combined those two journeys. I've combined that. So us having this communication, you're on your path, I'm on mine, but we're combining our experience right now. Now, one of the keys of spirituality is like union with your higher self, right? Or your inner sage, your inner hermit. And we're combining like those two opposite things, right? And that's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. That's what's going on here. Now, to tie this all back in and be like, so you're like, man, this guy is not full of shit. I want you to look at the face of what's in the moon. The face of the hermit is in the moon. We have all these different creatures of nature. We also have a path running up a mountain. Now, this guiding force is the force that creates evolution. It's the force that creates our personality. It's the force that guides basically life. And so this thing, the hermit or the sage, is kind of guiding the universe in a certain direction. So that's what I got for you guys. I hope you liked it. Is there any questions?
No. It's pretty good.
Good.
I still wanna quickly just like delve into why the guiding one, the wise one, isn't 10.
Mm-hmm.
Because in my mind, 10 is like completeness. So you'd think the complete version
Mm-hmm.
would be the most wise and
Mhm.
has been through literally all of it and has come back to full circle.
Okay.
Is it just because 9 is the highest within the earthly realm still? And then once you're at 10, you're like no longer within the parameters?
That's a good question. My inclination to answer you is I want to guide you into thinking about what number is. So 10, and I might be wrong, might not, if it's like, this is like really out there. I've written a lot about this. I've thought a lot about this. So 10, of course. 10 is 1. Oh my gosh. It's probably from me waving around the marker in the air without having the cap on. It's fine. 10 is 1 and 0. So write 1 and 0 on your paper. Which number, so if we were to split these in half, 1 and 0, which number has substance? 1. 0 is nothing. So you're back at 1.
So I've learned that with numerology, you always, if it's more than a 9, you always combine the numbers, unless it's like a divine number like 22. Or,
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right, like 12 would be 1 plus 2 plus 3.
Right, so it would be a number 3 and hold that resonance of it in numerology. That's what I've learned.
I like that.
Okay. So 10 is basically going back down to 1. Like
Yeah.
it's like leveled up 1.
Right.
Right. Now, what gets even trippier is think about the relationship between 0 and 1. Like there's this big question in spirituality, especially like esotericism, mysticism, just everything. How can nothingness get from somethingness? Like there's this big question, and it's been here for thousands of years, and the human mind can't quite wrap its mind around it, right? So there's also that polarity.
What? Explain that. Say that again.
How did something happen from nothing, or nothing happen from something?
What happened first, egg or chicken? Is that what you're saying?
Kind of, yeah.
Kind of like, okay, it's really hard to think about nothingness,
Right.
because we're so used to like labeling everything like, oh, this is a chair, this is a table. So how can we think of complete nothing? A void, right?
Before humans. Well,
Before
before any living creature,
Yeah,
like
the
we generated, we self-generated.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like when I think about 10 or the Wheel of Fortune, I always think about like, what's the relationship between 0 and 1, right?
Yeah.
It's hard. On and off. How do you get from like off to on?
Right, and well, from on to off is a little more understandable,
Uh-huh.
but from off to on is like, where did it come from?
Exactly. Right. So if it's a void, if it's nothing,
How can it be something?
how could it get to something? And that's been the big question for thousands of years. That's been the big question for thousands and thousands of
With
years.
us as humans, like we always come from our parents, so like we're really conditioned to relate in that way, like something is coming from something.
Right.
So then for us to just think of like how something can come from nothing.
Yeah.
It's like
It's a brain bender.
Yeah.
It's a big brain bender, and a lot of really great thinkers have thought about it for a really long time, especially in the spiritual world, and we still have yet to come up with a great answer. It's like one of those big unanswerables.
It's almost kind of like something has always existed.
Right. And
there can't be like a non-existence.
Exactly. So initially, if we were to talk about the start of the universe 30 to 40 years ago, everybody was like Big Bang, Big Bang, Big Bang. But that doesn't explain what happened before that.
Yeah, there had to be something to bang.
Right.
Right?
Exactly.
So what physicists are thinking now, and it's aligning with your thinking, that everything is connected, like there must have been something before, is that we actually live in a successive infinite amount of universes. So a lot of people are starting to think that we live in the bottom of a black hole. Now that black hole is in another universe, that's in another universe, that's in another universe. So it just keeps going on and on and on and on.
Isn't that why man created religion? So, well, God created it, so they stopped right there.
Yeah.
They can find an answer.
They can find an answer.
Right.
Oh, it's a miracle. It's a, so they can give an explanation to it.
Mm-hmm.
Have faith. Well,
Right. But then that also gave them control to say, like, well, this is in God's name that we're doing this. So,
Yeah.
And I think that's what the taking God's name in vain is kind of like.
Right.
Like you're doing something that you're not really supposed to in God's name.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Like kill people.
Yeah.
I want you guys to think about one last thing, and this is what I want to say, and then we're going to stop that, and we're going to take a break and do meditation. If the theory, they call it the Big Bend. So like we bent the universe from another universe instead of the Big Bang, the Big Bend. If that theory stands to be true, that would mean that we are literally living in infinity right now. We are literally experiencing infinity if that theory is true. So the spiritual implications, the philosophical implications, the mathematical implications literally are endless at that point. All right, hope that wasn't too much. Really cool stuff. I love this type of stuff. Okay, good. Yeah, we're living in infinity, guys. If that's true, if that is true, we're experiencing the infinite in this like little fraction of our life. Yep. All right. We're going to take a 5 to 10 minute break, 5-minute break. There's only a few of us. And then we're going to do a meditation and we're going to do readings for each other.
Oh, fun.
Yeah.